Statistics. Jack has relocated from Nagpur to Mumbai after clearing his 10th standard board exams with flying colors. To find a suitable college, he first makes a list of A-grade colleges of Mumbai along with their location. Now he will further simplify his choices based on the location that is nearest to his residence. But he is an avid foodie, so he makes sure that the college that he will finally select will also have a nice canteen. What we just saw is a statistical data on a smaller scale. Statistics can be explained as the category of math which is used in dealing with collection, organization, interpretation, and finally presentation of a data. Here, once the data is collected by Jack, he organizes it. Then comes interpreting the data, that is, understanding the data, which is the most important step. And then finally comes the presentation of data. Here Jack's data was smaller that could be presented in his own manner, but other larger data such as population census, rainfall in all states of India in a particular year, etc., can be presented using graphs, tables, various diagrams like pie chart, etc. The numerical data collected in a survey has a tendency to cluster around a particular score. This number is called the measure of central tendency. There are various measures of central tendency: mean, median, and mode. Mean. Mean from classified frequency distribution. There are three methods to find mean for the given data. 1. Direct method. 2. Assumed mean method. 3. Step deviation method. Direct method. We can understand this method using example. The following table shows the number of students and the time they utilized daily for their studies. Find the mean time spent by students for their studies by direct method. Solution. There are 4 columns in this method. 1. Class. 2. Class mark Xi. 3. Frequency Fi. 4. Xi Fi. In the first column, we write the classes given in example. Then we write frequency, which is also given in example. Now for second column, class mark, formula of class mark is upper limit plus lower limit of corresponding class upon 2. Therefore, 0 plus 2 upon 2 is equal to 1. 2 plus 4 upon 2 is equal to 6 upon 2, which is equal to 3. 4 plus 6 upon 2 is equal to 10 upon 2, which is equal to 5. 6 plus 8 upon 2 is equal to 14 upon 2, which is equal to 7. 8 plus 10 upon 2 is equal to 18 upon 2, which is equal to 9. Now for the fourth column, we multiply Xi and Fi as 1 into 7 is equal to 7, 3 into 18 is equal to 54, 5 into 12 is equal to 60, 7 into 10 is equal to 70, 9 into 3 is equal to 27. Here, summation Fi is sum of all frequency, which is equal to 50. And summation Fi Xi is sum of all Fi Xi, which is equal to 218. Now we can calculate mean is equal to X bar is equal to summation of Fi Xi upon summation of Fi is equal to 218 upon 50, which is equal to 4.36. Thus, the mean time spent by students for their studies is 4.36 hours. If the product of Xi Fi is large it becomes tedious to find the mean by direct method. So let us study another method called the assumed mean method. Assumed mean method. Let us consider one example. A frequency distribution table for the production of oranges of some farm owners is given below. Find the mean production of oranges by the assumed mean method. Consider this table. Solution. There are 6 columns in this method. 1. Class. 2. Class mark xi. 3. Deviation is equal to xi minus a. 4. Frequency fi. 5. Frequency into deviation fi di. Now in the first column we write the given classes and frequency in the 4th column. Next we calculate the class mark one by one. Select any value in the class mark column as assumed mean. It is denoted by A. Generally, middle value of the column is selected. Taking any other convenient number as the assumed mean does not change the mean of the data. A is equal to 37.5. Now we calculate deviation using formula di is equal to xi minus a one by one. Next we find fi di by multiplying frequencies and deviations for each of the classes. Then we find sum of all frequencies, that is summation fi is equal to 80 and sum of all fi di, which is summation fi di is equal to minus 175. We now calculate d bar, that is equal to summation fi di upon summation fi, which is equal to minus 175 upon 80 is equal to minus 2.1875. Then we calculate mean x bar, which is equal to a plus d bar is equal to 37.5 minus 2.1875 is equal to 35.312. Therefore, the mean production of oranges is 35,312 rupees. Now we study one more method to find the mean. Step deviation method. Again, let us consider one example. The following table gives the information of frequency distribution of weekly wages of 150 workers of a company. Find the mean of the weekly wages by step deviation method. Solution. There are 6 columns in this method. First column for class, second for class mark, third for deviation, fourth is UI, fifth is frequency fi, and last is FIUI. First we write the given classes and frequency in their respective columns. Now we calculate the class mark one by one. Next we choose assumed mean, that is A. Then we find deviation where di is equal to xi minus a. Next we find G, which is GCD of all di. So GCD is equal to 1000. Now in the next column we find UI, which is equal to di upon G. Lastly we find FIUI, product of FIUI. Now we calculate the summation Fi, which is sum of all frequency, and the summation of FIUI, which is sum of all FIUI. Now we find the mean of UI, that is U bar is equal to summation of FIUI upon summation of Fi is equal to minus 65 upon 150, that is equal to minus 0.433. Now U bar into G is equal to minus 0.433 into 1000 is equal to minus 433. Then we find the mean X bar is equal to A plus U bar into G is equal to 3500 minus 433 is equal to 3067. Therefore, the mean of weekly wages is rupees 3067. Try some more problems for practice. Median. There are two types. 1. Median for ungrouped data. 2. Median for grouped frequency distribution. First, we consider median for ungrouped data. Consider marks scored by 7 students in statistics. This data is not ascending order. Therefore, rearranging in ascending order, we get here the number of scores is odd, that is 7, and then n plus 1 upon 2th score is the median of the data. Here n is equal to 7. Therefore, n plus 1 by 2 is equal to 7 plus 1 by 2 implies 8 by 2, which is 4. Therefore, 4th score is equal to 40 is the median. Now, consider marks of 8 students in maths. The number of scores is 8, which is even. Therefore, the 4th and 5th numbers are at the middle, which are 66 and 68. So, the median is 66 plus 68 upon 2, which is equal to 67. Let us understand the steps to calculate median for grouped frequency distribution with the help of an example. Here, class is not continuous. Therefore, we need one extra column for continuous class. First, we write class and frequency. Next, we make the class continuous by subtracting 0.5 from lower limit of class and adding 0.5 in upper limit of class. Now we calculate column of cumulative frequency. Then we find summation of frequency. Cumulative frequency less than type, which is just greater than or equal to n by 2, which is equal to 200 by 2 is 100. Therefore, frequency is equal to 85 and cumulative frequency is equal to 99. To find median, we need total frequency n is equal to 200 and n by 2 is equal to 100. Here the number 100 lies in the class 74.5 to 79.5 and lower limit L is 74.5 and H is equal to 5. Median is equal to L plus n by 2 minus cumulative frequency upon frequency into H, which is equal to 74.5 plus 100 minus 99 upon 85 into 5. Here 100 minus 99 becomes 1. Therefore 74.5 plus 0.0588, which becomes 74.55. Therefore, median of the data is 74.55 vehicles. Try some more problems for practice. Mode. Here, Mr. Happy opens a pizza shop, and to attract more and more customers, he needs to know which variety of pizza is more in demand so that he can provide offers and sale on those varieties. For that, he has to find the mode of all the varieties of pizzas. In such cases, the mode is needed. Mode is the score repeating maximum number of times in a data. Let us take one example. The following frequency distribution table given the ages of 200 patients treated in a hospital in a week. Find the mode of ages of the patients. First, we write the class, where class is ages in years. Next, we write the frequency, number of patients. Here, class is not continuous. Therefore, we create new column for continuous class. See the last column and observe all frequencies and tell the maximum frequency. It is 50, which is F1. The class corresponding to F1 is modal class, that is 9.5 to 14.5 L is equal to 9.5. F0 is equal to 32, which is the frequency of class preceding the modal class. F2 is equal to 36, which is the frequency of class succeeding the modal class. And lastly, H, difference between the lower and the upper limit, is equal to 5. L plus F1 minus F0 upon 2F1 minus F0 minus F2 into H. Substitute the values of L, F1, F0, F2 and H. We get 9.5 plus 45 upon 16, which is 2.8125, which is equal to 12.3125, approximately equal to 12.31. Therefore, the mode of ages of the patients is 12.31 years. Try some more problems for practice. Histogram. Let us consider one example. In the following table, the investment made by 210 families is shown, presented in the form of a histogram. Here, investment and number of families are given. To draw a graph, first we draw the x-axis, mention the given information on it, and write the scale. Now we draw the y-axis and mention the given information. Write the scale of y-axis. If the scale on x-axis does not start with 0, then a kink mark, that is a zigzag line, is drawn on the x-axis to denote the missing intervals. The height of the bar on x-axis is equal to the frequency of respective class origin. For investment 10 to 15,000 rupees, families are 30. For investment 15 to 20,000 rupees, families are 50. For investment 20 to 25,000 rupees, families are 60. For investment 25 to 30,000 rupees, families are 55. For investment 30 to 35,000 rupees, families are 15. This is the required histogram. Frequency polygon. Show the following data by a frequency polygon. Here, class and frequency are given. Now write the class mark. For first row, 0 plus 200 by 2 is equal to 100. For second row, 200 plus 400 by 2 is equal to 600 by 2 is 300. For third row, 400 plus 600 by 2 is equal to 1000 by 2 is 500. For fourth row, 600 plus 800 by 2 is equal to 14,000 by 2 is 700. For fifth row, 800 plus 1000 by 2 is equal to 1800 by 2 is 900. Now we draw the x-axis and y-axis and mention the given information. Then write the scale. On x-axis, 1 centimeter is equal to 100 rupees. On y-axis, 1 centimeter is equal to 5 units. Now let us plot all the points on this graph. Coordinates of first point are 100, 240, second are 300, 300, third are 500, 450, fourth are 700, 350, and fifth point are 900, 160. Now join all these points together with straight lines. Join the first end point to the preceding class with frequency 0 and last end point to the succeeding class with frequency 0. This is the required frequency polygon. Pie diagram. A pie chart displays numerical data in circular graph. Different components of a data are shown by proportional sectors of the circle. Let us consider one example. The marks obtained by students in different subjects are shown. Draw a pie diagram showing the information. We draw 3 columns: subjects, marks and central angle, theta. Now we write the given subjects and marks in their respective columns. Next, we calculate total marks, which is 380. Theta is equal to number of scores in component upon total number of scores into 360 degree. For English, central angle is equal to 50 upon 380 into 360 degree is equal to 47.36 degree. For Marathi, central angle is equal to 70 upon 380 into 360 degree is equal to 66.31 degree. For science, central angle is equal to 80 upon 380 into 360 degree is equal to 75.79 degree. For mathematics, central angle is equal to 90 upon 380 into 360 degree is equal to 85.26 degree. For social science, central angle is equal to 60 upon 380 into 360 degree is equal to 56.84 degree. For Hindi, central angle is equal to 30 upon 380 into 360 degree is equal to 28.42 degree. We need to check whether the sum of all the central angles is 360 degrees or not. If not, then there is mathematical error in the calculation. Now let us see how to draw a pie diagram. First, we place a protractor on the radius and mark approximately 47.36 degree for English. Similarly, shifting the protractor, mark 66.31 degree for Marathi. Repeating the procedure, 75.79 degree for science, 85.26 degree for mathematics, 56.84 degree for social science, 28.42 degree for Hindi. Try some more problems for practice.